Hey. How you guys
Yo,
doing? It's your boy Pepsi back again with another podcast. Um,
hi.
today, I'm gonna talk about so I'm talking Nas's new album, Nasir. I'm gonna sound like a fucking uh piece of shit. It's not pronounced right. So professional of me. The fuck, Google. Oh my god, just Nasir? Doesn't sound right. It's Nasir. Whatever. Nas' new album. Dropped last night. There was another listening party thing for it. Album fully produced by Kanye. Um, this album was incredibly average. Uh, it's my least favorite project so far out of this easy season. It's my least favorite. Uh, I thought it'd be pretty good because Nas is on it. I just found the whole thing to be average. His rapping, Nas himself, the production, it's just super average. Um, Daytona by Pusha T was better than this. Way better. I think that's the best actually out of the projects. A lot of people say Kids See Ghosts now, but I think Daytona is the best. But yeah, it's super average. The production is like I like what he's doing, how they all each sound different, each project, but this one didn't really seem to have like a theme for it. Like Daytona, Yay, Kids See Goes, they have a kind of a they, they have like a certain aesthetic to each album, and this one didn't seem to have it. It just sounded like Kanye made all these beats already, and he just like gave them fucking Nas. So here you go. Here's a beat that doesn't really fit with the other projects. Here you go. That's what it seemed like. It I really like Nas, uh, in general. Um, I'm a normie when it comes to his music. Like Illmatic's is best, but most people fucking agree with that. But he's made a lot of other good music and shit, and yeah. But this is just super average album in general. Um, the Tiana Williams. I think that's the next and last project this year is next. And I don't hear anybody interested in that. I don't care. I'm only gonna listen to it because Kanye produced it and produced it. That's the only reason why I care. But other than that, yeah. Um, so I since Nas is a well, he started in the '90s. He's kind of a staple of '90s rap. I wanted to ask, uh, okay, I'm not into, I'm not really into '90s rap. To be honest, I like some of it, but I'm just super white when it comes to that shit, and I don't care about a lot of artists from that era. And I wanted to ask, Los, do you have any favorite '90s rappers?
Uh, I just listen here and there. I don't listen. I don't know like what's kind of my favorite. Uh,
One you
I
like?
uh, I can leave a list. I like Common. I like a little bit of Snoop Dogg. Biggie. Tupac. Uh, what else? It's just I don't remember that time. Ice Cube.
You like Cool Keith?
Cool Keith is a good one. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. I just like during that time. I guess the most music I listened to was probably Ice Cube.
mhm.
Yeah.
uh, I like Nas. I like Tribe Called Quest. MF, Cool Keith. And well, I was gonna say MF Doom, but I mean, he had that one out, that one group, that one out with that one group he was in, and then his debut album. But he's not really like a '90s rapper per se. Then uh, Wu Tang. Uh, there's some others. Anytime. Um, fuck. That might be it. Honestly, that might be it.
Yeah.
Fucking I don't dislike Tupac or Biggie, but I just don't care for their music in general. I like Biggie better than Pac actually.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. And then I don't really care. A rapper I really don't care for
Oh.
is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Uh, he's made good albums actually. He's made good albums. He's made good songs. He's made good albums, but
Yeah.
he's not somebody I really like. Like I'm never like, ooh, I want to listen to some Jay-Z. I've never liked that ever. Um, he's made good music, but I just don't. I actually liked his last album, 444, quite a bit. Uh, yeah, I like that one actually quite a bit. That was really good. One of the best albums last year, but it just in general, I don't really care for his music. Now I want to talk about, since I just got reminded. What are your favorite music videos? You have any? What do you think are cool?
Does that involve a rap?
Any genre, any.
Um. Well, I don't see enough like music videos since a long while. I don't watch them.
I don't really either.
I just listen to the lyrics and that's it. But one of my favorites has to be Breakers, Diago's band. He's a Japanese artist, Japanese rock star. Survivor. I like that one because it involves wrestling and anime. I still like that. I like that one. It's good. Yeah. What's your favorite, Jay?
Mm, anything Tyler the Creator makes, pretty much. He makes the best music videos. He directs his own music videos, and they're always on point. Um, besides that, I like Brockhampton's music videos. I like um I like Roses by Outkast. Uh I like King Rat by Modest Mouse. I like is there other Modest Mouse ones that I really like? Well, they're kind of cool, but I don't really say favorites. And oh, my favorite music video of all time is, it's not really a music video, it's more of a short film. It's I can't pronounce it. Fuck. Google Translate here. Ikimok. It's by Ross. It's the only video I've watched that actually made me cry. The only
Mm.
one that successfully every time. Uh, that's my favorite music video. Pretty much. It shows this guy who he's like in the woods or some shit, and he's like finds this snail that like talks to him. It's really weird. He finds a snail that talks to him, and she has like a very calm voice, and then he finds this dead fox, and uh, then it shows the fox over time, like rotting and shit. So it doesn't really. It sounds weird when I say it, but like how it's filmed and edited, the music and everything just flows together. It's very touching, and depressing, and for instance, the whole like point of the music video and stuff's like about like uh like life and death and shit like that. And it's like I think it's like I haven't watched it in a while, but I think it's the whole point the guy I think is supposed to be dead. I think I don't think that's what it is. But anyways, yeah, it's one of my favorite music video of all time. Then I'm trying to think. I like I'm trying to think. I like what's it? Tonight by Smashing Pumpkins. Uh, I like Bjork's music videos. I like Kate Bush's music videos. I like Grimes' music videos. Uh, and then I feel like I'm missing like a lot. Um, I like Buddy Holly by Weezer. I like Death Grips music videos. Uh, am I missing any? I almost feel like I am. Do you rap? See, there are very good, many good rap videos. I'd say they're kind of weak. They have like the weakest. Oh, I like Obstacle One by Interpol. I love that music video a
Mm.
lot.
It's so taking a few, man. It's like I remember. I
And
like.
then what else? What about rap? Oh yeah, there are very many good rap videos. I'd
Yeah, I
say.
can say I like some of Common's uh, music videos. Very good. Involves of neighborhood of Chicago, so represent.
I really like I don't like ASAP Rocky, but I do like the LSD video quite a bit. Um, Even though I think it's really cringy. Uh, I find it really cringy, like the song and shit, the music, but the video itself is actually really well shot, and that's kind of overrated. A lot of people really like that, but it is really good. Am I missing any? I feel like I am. I can go on all day probably. Just
Yeah,
talking about
same.
it. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Um, so anyways, Elon elongated muskrat uh made a tweet today. I don't I gotta pull it up. Because I don't want to quote it wrong. Come on, load.
Chill. Spooked me again.
My phone's so fucking slow. Okay. He said, those who proclaim themselves socialists are usually depressing, have no sense of humor, and attend expensive college. Fate loves irony. And I thought this is hilarious, even coming from him, because you don't see very many famous figures public right now, on Twitter saying shit like that. That's why I thought it was so funny. He was blunt, straight to the point, and people were calling him like a bully and shit, and like I don't know, and I just thought it was funny. And I think that Twitter, all of Twitter needs to be deleted, all of it, for the betterment of humanity. Because I think it's fucking. Because I think it fucking it's actually does more harm than good. You could say, well, why don't you delete Facebook, Instagram? Thing is, nobody goes on Facebook and Instagram for like people's like thoughts a lot of times. No one like goes there like, I'm gonna go to Facebook.com right now and look up what someone says about peanuts. That's a random fucking thing. But anyways, nobody really does that. And we on Twitter do that, and I think that it should be deleted. And people should say whatever they want on there. That's all I'm saying. But it's actually negatively affected. It's weird because I sound like an old man saying this, but it's negatively affected our culture a lot. Like more, people always like to throw in the other social media websites, but really, even like Tumblr and shit. But really, Twitter has like the news uses Twitter as a source and shit to report stuff. Someone made a tweet about it. It must be true, and that's where fucking, it ruins people's careers. It fucking just like makes people hate each other more. It's just a fucking mess. It's a fucking ball of just negativity. It's just if Twitter was gone, there'd be the better, humanity would be better. It would be better off without it.
Yeah.
Also, people's accounts being flagged for their political views and shit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
People getting shadow banned randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
Also, people attack you. You say, I don't really like the Star Wars movie. And then people will like fucking like try flagging you and attack you and shit. It's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's more toxic than YouTube comments.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
There's always that asshole, the guy that wants to be an asshole. Like every YouTube comment, if you say something, oh, this is a good song, then someone replied, you really had to point that out.
Yeah.
There's always that one dude every time. Like, yeah, I fucking hate YouTube comments. Hate all of them.
Same.
Anyways, you have anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. It's a follow up of last episode of this podcast.
Okay.
So, last episode, if you haven't seen it, please watch it because it was me ranting about Dave Meltzer and his fucking and New Japan Pro Wrestling cucking people. Guess what? And then guess what? You proved me right again because on the 6th of the 9th of this month, we had New Japan Pro Wrestling's own Dominion. Now, I like New Japan. They're doing great. I like the wrestling, whatever. But it's not because of that. It's because of this cuck. This cuck, Dave Meltzer. And look, you could say whatever about your opinions and whatever. You don't take this guy's opinion seriously. So he might be a professional, quote unquote, but he's really not. So the main event was Kenny Omega versus Gochara. I can't say his first name. Okada. Just Okada. Omega for Okada. And this is their third match. And it was an hour and 5 minutes. And he rated a 7-star out of 5. Really? Out of 5? Like 7 out of 5? This is the second time this happened. You did the first one. Oh, 7 out of 5. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. What? And then you rate like NATO and Jericho's match a 4.5? Really? That one has story. The other one's just like, oh, okay, I want to challenge you for the title because you give me a good match. Why not? How about me and you again? We're at full power. It's like anime. I get that, but like, come on, dude. 7 stars
out of 5.
Out of 5. Your rating system is broken. Because look, if you go on the website, I'm not gonna show it because I've already seen it. Out of the most matches, out of the top matches, always been New Japan, New Japan, New Japan, and it's like indie show and then New Japan. I like New Japan. I watched it here and there. Just less wrestling here now. Just, come on, dude. Rate it like out of 10. You know how much I rate this match? An 8. Because it was a good match, but it was too long. It could have been a little more quicker. It could have been more a little more, a little more paced. But no, it's just they're grabbing each other. They got up. They're doing rest holds. They do this, and that. Like, really? You have to rate this a 7 out of 5? So, think that. How do you say this? Sink that in. That's bias. Because how much the Young Bucks, Okada, and Omega paying you, Dave Meltzer, to use this as 7 out of 5 stars? How much they paying you? And look, Okada had a 6.5 out of 5. That looks familiar. That must be something. That sounds biased. That's some BS. Some BS, rating system. Must be that New Japan money. Must be cooking every single wrestling circuit around the world. So you prove it right again that your bias, your ratings is broken, and not like Broken Matt or Broken Los. And also, you're overrated as hell. Come on, dude. Really? You had to give it a 7 out of 5. Dude, make it like out of 10. Because it's like, that's no way. That's too biased. It's so misleading information. I mean, come on, really? Yet everyone has to follow this one guy's opinion. You guys have your own opinions too. I don't trust Dave Meltzer, and I think Dave Meltzer is just cuck. But it's simple. That's all. He's biased as hell. You put me right, Dave. You prove me right.
I like how I was thinking this actually yesterday. fucking so a long time ago in the 90s, there was those two film critics, Siskel and Ebert, and they it's funny watching their old reviews of movies because they fucking every movie that's considered like a classic now they shitted on like
Mm.
completely, and there's like this movie's a piece like they didn't say this because on t like it was on TV and stuff, but they're like they said this movie's awful, no good qualities, and then like years later everybody likes it, and then they like Roger Ebert years later is like, oh yeah, it's a pretty good movie and stuff, and uh now I'm not saying opinions can change over time on stuff, but it's just funny to me like uh Needle Drop YouTuber does the music review stuff. He does the same exact thing. Uh and it's just funny like um and I people have their own opinions and stuff, that's fine, but like they did well not really Needle Drop but like Siskel and Ebert like they act like their opinion is like almost like objective and shit, like yeah, like this is what a real movie is. This is what like they always praise these movies that nobody fucking cared about. And they're like, yeah, this is a real movie. And it's like, well, why? It's like, well, it's just a movie where room where people are sitting down talking. And that could be a good movie. Depends. But they act like it's like a fucking more superior than a movie that has more effort put into it. It's just fucking weird. And like I don't know, sometimes like critics are fucking weird. Remember like X Play? They would fucking
Yeah,
give every Call of Duty game a fucking 5 out of 5.
and they trash it.
And
And
then
they trash it. They trash like anime games, especially
yeah,
Naruto.
then they always praise these games that like nobody's ever fucking heard of. And then when you actually played it, I've played some of those games. The X Play recommended, and they're just like trash. Like this game's fun. It's like they're always awful and shit. You never heard of them again after that show. And yeah, they would remember that one guy that would be on their T squared.
Yeah.
Hi, T squared here. So some Modern Warfare 2 tips.
Oh my god.
Those were the good old days. G4 was the one that started all that fucking shit. The shill culture. They started all that shit. Like, look at me. I'm nerdy. I like Star Wars. I like Marvel. I like Mario. I'm a nerd, everybody. And like, and then like, there's ass kissers and get paid and shit. They started all that shit, and
Mm-hmm.
I just can't stand shill culture. It's so inauthentic, and it's weird because these people at track authentic and they're inauthentic as fuck. Um, like there's no way you can like everything nerdy. There's no way. Nerdy people are actually extremely opinionated on shit.
Yeah.
It's true. Like fucking Star Wars fans. Like I fucking hate this movie. I really love this movie. And there was always debates which movie sucks and not, like in the Star Wars community. And then a fucking video game community, there's fucking people arguing about like even like consoles and shit, which one's better. There's dirty people are fucking opinionated as shit and will not always come to agreement on shit. Just look at YouTube comments and stuff. And it's so fucking funny because they all ass kiss each other. Like, oh yeah, that it's good because it's kind of weird and nerdy. Oh yeah, that's good too. There's no fucking way you like everything that's nerdy. No way. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's awful. Like, and they always have their nerd figures, the nerd like gods. And it's always the lamest fucking people. Like, series, like every convention or some shit. Mark Hamill, Will Wheaton, Patton Oswalt, fucking who's the other dude they always fucking have? Oh, Simon Pegg. There's always like these like main guys every time. And I'm not shitting on all of them too, but what I'm saying is that it's they fucking they always there's always these go-to guys. It's like, what about somebody else for once? Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to see like, I don't know, fucking what about Harrison Ford? What's he doing? Is he being a grandpa right now? What is he up to? Yeah, I don't think he likes that shit. I kind of doubt he does.
Yeah.
I doubt he's into that shit. But you know what I mean? Think something a bit different. Like, I don't know, but like, I mean, is it always the same fucking six guys? It's like I don't. They're always like the spokesman for fucking conventions and stuff. I don't get like. It's just so weird to me. And I've enjoyed stuff they're in and stuff, um, yeah, it's just fucking weird to me. I don't understand shill culture at all. Um, fucking, there's too much of it, and I don't think anybody actually genuinely likes it too. Like, nobody does. It's really weird phenomenon because it's like I think it appeals to people like the people that really want to be nerdy and stuff but never were in their life, and so they're like, I kind of want to get into this shit. And so they're like, oh, I have to like Star Wars. I have to like Star Wars, the original trilogy only, and Disney movies. I have to like um fucking these Nintendo games, but this specific amount. These like five like specific Nintendo games. Okay, these five specific Nintendo games, and I have to like the next generation of Star Trek only. I only like it's just so weird to me. It's like, how can all these people agree and disagree on the same shit? How? That is like unheard of. In everyday life, people have different opinions on things, you know? It's like it's just so weird to me. They all like the same shit and hate the same shit. It's like unheard. That's weird to me. But yeah, fuck shit culture. Sick of that shit.
Yeah.
Um yeah, they, like okay, a good example, I was watching a video last night. Um and I made a Facebook post about it, reference towards it. Some guy was talking about Quentin Tarantino's movies, and he was saying that there's this indie movie you might have heard of. It's called Pulp Fiction. And that's what I'm fucking talking about, okay? They'll say these fucking buzzwords, but not know what they actually fucking mean. I am sick of the fucking indie label. These shills like to fucking throw that word around, okay? Pulp Fiction is not an indie movie at all. It's a fucking studio movie invested by actually Harvey Weinstein back in the day, and we all know because after all the rape shit, he's fucking loaded. He invested that shit. That is not an indie movie at all. Nor do I don't think Tarantino would even call it an indie movie. He wouldn't call it an indie movie. No, nobody that worked on it would call it an indie movie at all. Okay, I am sick of. And they act like it's such a fucking obscure movie. Nobody's ever heard of Pulp Fiction. Nobody's ever say what again? Quarter Pounder. Nobody's ever heard of those references before. Nobody. It's like there's just these sad fucking college kids who fucking just want to fit in, and so they like things that they think are weird, but they actually aren't. That's all it fucking is. And like, I'm sick of indie game. I'm sick of that fucking label. Most of these games are not indie games. Oh, I make it look 8-bit. Ha, now it's an indie game. I'm sick of that shit. It doesn't make it indie. if it's independently made, like, okay, if I made a game right now on my computer, like tonight, finished it, released it, that's a fucking indie game. I just made it myself, released it myself. It's an indie game. If it's backed up by a studio, if I made a game tonight and fucking EA gives me money, say, make this game, and oh yeah, and we'll distribute it for you. That's not an indie game. That's not an indie game whatsoever. And I'm just sick of the indie label. Even most of the music that's considered indie is not the same way. It's not indie. They're all paid by labels and shit. And I'm just fucking sick of the indie label. So bad. And if anybody calls Pulp Fiction an indie movie, I'll fucking slap them. Okay, I'll fucking slap you if you call it indie movie. Cause you're such a fucking what a fuck like I don't know any. I've actually never met anybody, any type of person that would call Pulp Fiction an indie movie, and I'll just slap them and just say, "Hey, we're in reality here. This is the reality of shit. It's not an indie movie. It doesn't fit the definition of an indie movie. It's not independent at all." I'm done with that rant. Fucking sick of that label.
Speaking of those quote unquote 8-bit games, they always say, "Oh, it looks so retro."
Oh my god!
Do you hate that?
Oh my fucking god!
It's so retro.
I'm so cringe. Okay, I'm gonna go on like 2 more rants.
No, because I want you to hear that. Go for it, man. Go for it. You deserve this.
I am sick of the retro gaming community. I am sick of it. Okay, James Rolfe, the Angry created all this shit. He fucking created all this shit, and nobody gives him credit. He's the one because he started reviewing those old games and shit that nobody talked about at the time, and then everybody jumped on a bandwagon, like having nostalgia over those NES games and stuff, and created this fucking community which you have today. I like a lot of that shit. I do. Okay. The thing is, a lot of that shit's actually pretty cool. The thing is, I'm so fucking sick of it. Why does everything have to look retro? Why does everything have to be retro to be good? It doesn't need to at all. You just make a fucking good game. You know why? People back then, the people that made Chrono Trigger, guess what? Was it Square Enix?
Is it Square Enix?
I think it's Square Enix game. If they made Chrono Trigger back then and they had the technology of like a PS4 game, they would fucking go for the PS4 game. Okay? They would go for that. If Nintendo made The Legend of Zelda, it was like 1987, and they had the technology of Nintendo Switch, they would make it on the Nintendo Switch. They would not make it on the NES. Okay? They would not make it on the NES. They would make it on the Nintendo Switch. You know why those games look retro? Is because they didn't have that good of a technology back then. They just used their best resources they had at the time. And while some of that shit looks cool, okay, some of that shit has a cool look. I'm not gonna fucking front, but let's get real here. The reason why it looks like that is because they're just using the resources they had at the time. That is the only reason. Okay. And retro. I'm sick of this shit. What's with the fucking nostalgia of the 80s? Why are we keep going back to the 80s? Why not the 90s this time? Why not the early 2000s? Why not the 70s? Okay? Why does it always have to be the 80s? Seriously. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the 80s was the best decade for shit. Okay, and there's a lot of good shit that came out in the 80s. Let's get real here. A lot of the best video games, the best movies, the best music did not came out from the 80s. Let's get real here, people. Fucking I am sick of fucking man. Come on, Joe Budden mode. I was still so serious. I want to fucking talk about this other fucking rant. I guess I'll fucking rant because I don't know when he's gonna come back. I have to fucking talk about video game humor. Video game humor is awful. It is awful. Okay, I'm not talking about like reviewers. Like I'm reviewing it. I'm making a funny game review on this game. No, because a lot of them, like Aaron or JonTron, they don't really have video game humor in their videos. It's like other shit, and the game just happens to be the subject. It's not the game that's funny. It's the other shit going on around them. Sometimes there's funny stuff in the game. Okay, a bad game can be funny, but okay, I'm when I talk about video game humor, I'm specifically talking about like those animation videos like Egoraptor makes. Egoraptor created this shit. It's not just animation videos. It could be web comics, Rule 34 shit. It could be even like cosplay. It could be everyday shit. Like, you know, people joking about video games and stuff. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Fucking video game humor is not funny. So here's a good example of video game humor. Link is fucking Princess Zelda. Or yeah, let's just say Link is fucking Princess Zelda. And Mario walks in and says, Mamma Mia! And then Link fucking uses a random power from Zelda. That's the joke. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. This is the type of humor they fucking use. And it's not jokes. They're references. This is like Family Guy flashbacks, okay? These are not jokes. There's nothing funny. It's just just references. There's nothing funny about Link fucking Zelda unless you're fucking 6 years old. There's nothing funny about that. Get it? Because Mario says Mamma Mia a lot. You get it? Because it's like power that we saw in Zelda. Oh, so fucking funny. Wow. Oh, it's so funny. No, it's not. Okay. And I've had few. I've said this. I've said my opinion, like I have right now, and people have criticized it. I've heard like, you just don't get it. You just haven't played the games. Nothing. It doesn't matter if you get the reference or not. It should be funny no matter what. References are not jokes. They are not jokes. Seth MacFarlane. What's a joke? I'm looking at the definition of fucking joke right now. Joke definition. A thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, especially a story with a funny punchline. Does that my Zelda joke have Mario walking on Link fucking Zelda joke have a punchline? No. It doesn't. At all. How was that? How is that shit a joke? It's not a joke. Fucking oh my god, I'm so pissed.
Hey, yo.
You just missed a lot.
Yeah. We got food.
I'm gonna fucking repeat my shit. Yeah, you heard the retro gaming part about the graphics, about okay, anyways. I was talking, I led to another rant I do not like video game humor. I think it's trash. Okay, here's an example, because you're like, well, what's video game humor mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about fucking like people making jokes about video game like character or related shit. Like for example, like either it could be like animation videos, web comics, even like people making jokes like everyday life, like something, a joke about Mario or something. Okay, so here's like an example. Uh, Link is fucking Zelda, okay? And then Mario walks in and says, "Mamma mia!" And then Link uses a random ass power or some shit, or he plays that fucking flute or whatever the fuck randomly. That's the joke. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people think this shit's funny. What I just said. A lot of people will think this shit's funny. It's not. It is not funny. I'm done. I'm sick of this video game humor. And I've got told before, someone like, you just don't get it because you don't play games. Bullshit. If it was funny, it would be funny. References are not jokes. They are not, Seth MacFarlane. They are not. They are not jokes. I just read a definition of the joke, which is a thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, especially a story with a funny punchline. Did my story, my Lincoln Mario Zelda story, had a punchline?
No.
No, it didn't. It's not a joke. Okay, they're fucking references. A story with references. That's what it was. And you know who fucking created this fucking garbage? Egoraptor. He's the one responsible for this shit. He is the one responsible for this shit video game humor. There's nothing funny about fucking seeing a picture, a Rule 34 picture of Samus getting fucked by Sonic. There's nothing funny about it. Okay? Now I know why a lot of people make Rule 34 because they get off on that shit. But I'm just talking about the humor part. To be funny. There's nothing funny about Sonic fucking Samus. There's nothing fucking funny about that. I'm gonna pull a picture up right now. I bet it fucking exists. I just fucking said that. I want to see it so I can see the cringe. Samus, Sonic fucking Samus. It exists. Yeah, it does. Holy fuck. I actually can show this because it's actually not there's no nudity or anything. Here's what I'm talking about. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this.
Now what a heel.
There's nothing funny about that, okay? There's nothing funny about it. I mean, it might be funny if you're fucking 6. Okay. Yeah, I just can't stand the talk about the retro gaming shit.
Yeah. What episode are we on?
49.
Oh boy.
Next one. So 50. Hopefully a special podcast. Who the fuck knows who's gonna show up for that one? Who knows how many people? We're gonna invite a lot of motherfuckers. So yeah. Anyway, like, do you have anything you want to say about anything I just fucking ranted about?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
You're good, man.
I was yelling when you were gone. I was yelling. I went to Joe Budden mode, dude.
Oh, man. Or Alex Jones.
Yeah. You have anything to say about this stuff? You haven't said.
What else? Do I really have something to say? Nah, I think I'm fine. I think I'm good, man. Breathe.
I need a drink of water. Fuck.
Breathe, Jay.
I feel like there's another thing that relates to this. I want to
I
get
don't
up.
know. I don't know. I feel like there's something missing.
There is. Okay. Something about games. There's something missing. There's indie games I went on, retro games. Okay.
Yeah.
There's those two. There's another one.
I don't
There's
know,
another
man.
genre or something. What?
I feel like it's something missing. I think you know it.
I know what it is, but I don't know. Like, and my intuition says there's something, but I don't know what it is. I feel like if we're gonna end this podcast, we're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's retro games, there's indie games. I'm talking about the games that try to look like 8-bit games. Uh, I talked about the cutscene games, the last one. Then there's
Yeah.
the art games, but I don't really have a rant on that. I don't really care for art games. There's some that are kind of dumb, but whatever. There's some good stuff, but actually, I think the other thing was the games, the movie kind of games, the old cutscenes and stuff. I think that was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I think we did that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Those like the three that irk me.
What
Like
about quick time events?
that irks
I
me
think
too. We
yeah,
talked about that last one. Anyways,
yeah,
I think we're done.
yeah.
It's not broadcast.
Start broadcast.